So Sita was born to a king named Janaka. He couldn't have kids, and one day he was digging his plow into the dirt, and there was a little furrowed brow, and he found baby Sita. And he thought to himself, "Can I be a father if I didn't actually have this kid?" And the voice of God told him, "Fatherhood is not from seed; it is from the heart." Okay, so there are three kings we need to talk about right now, right? Janaka is Sita's father. He is digging in the dirt. He finds her. He's happy with her. Sita begins to experience the dichotomy of the masculine and feminine experience. So she's out on the battlefield with her father. She's in the kitchen with her mother. In Hinduism, or in these tales, in this mythology, femininity and masculinity are not really about genders. They're more about like harvesting the land. Everything was very, very correlated to harvest, right? Because that is that's the extent of the reality in these stories. The lessons are real, and the culture around it is real. It's not real. Editing me coming in just to say the gods and goddesses are real, the energy of them is real, the entities are real. I just mean in terms of the mythology, like this isn't a real in the way that we can say like, oh, Jesus Christ lived at this time. That's not the same with Ram, Sita. Three kings we need to talk about. Janaka, Sita's father. Then we have Dasharatha, who is Ram's father, but at this point in the tale has a daughter named Shanta. Shanta might sound familiar to you because if you've ever heard at the end of a mantra, a shlokam, Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi, Shanti is peace. And the irony of that was that Dasharatha would always say, it's so funny that she's named Peace because she doesn't bring me any because she's not a boy. Dasharatha's like, damn, I really want a son. Like, what should I do? Has three wives, okay? They've just all given him. Anyway, I'm going to go to this other king, Ashwapati, who I think like is kind of desperate for a suitor for his daughter. And I'm going to see if he'll let us get married. Ashwapati is desperate and he does let Dasharatha marry his daughter, only to find out that she also can't bear a son. So then there's a third king, Rampada, and he comes and talks to these two other guys, and he's like, my kingdom's having a really big problem right now because Indra, the goddess of the sun and rain, won't give us any rain because I have this one subject who happens to be half deer, half man, and is a hermit, and who has been cursed with not allowing any feminine energy to cross the border of his home at all because his father, trying to surpass Indra in wisdom, he was a seer, and she clocked it and was like, no, because if men start to take over the world, it will be ruined. So she was like, let me see what I can do to make sure that that doesn't happen. So she says, fine, no woman can cross this. Like, it will take a very specific woman to seduce this man, and if he can break that curse, then fine, I'll send rain down on your kingdom, but if you can't, sorry, tough. Rampada is like, what if Shanta, the daughter that you hate so much, could come and seduce my son? Epic story short, it happens. Shanta ends up seducing his son, whose name is Rishyaranga, and he's half deer. Actually, just really quick, that story goes like this. His dad was trying to control his mind, and then Indra, the goddess of the sky and rain, she sends just one consort, one, like not even, like kind of just an average, a baddie nonetheless, but just like kind of an average baddie, sends him. He immediately loses all self-control and schmidjaculates onto the grass, and from that grass a deer comes. Sorry, this part's about to get a little gross. A deer comes, eats that, gives birth to his now son, who is like stuck in this hermitage. Okay, are you with me? It's okay if you're not. So then his dad ended up hating women and was like, oh, they're so manipulative, blah, 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 and you're not allowed to ever touch them ever again. But then his son, half deer, half boy, falls in love with Shanta and is like, no, dad, like, this is my girl, I love her. And his dad is like, no, you can't be with her. But boom, now this king, because Shanta ended up seducing him, the king, which is not the half deer, half boy's father, right, ends up getting rain. And so there's all this bounty in his kingdom. So then he owes Dasharatha. So then he tells Dasharatha, I can do a specific yagna or fire ritual for Vishnu that will allow you to bear sons. So he does that. And that's how we end up with Rama and Lakshmana. Isn't it crazy that much of the story happens before we even start the part about Ram? So that king gives Dasharatha a potion, not a potion, but Yeah, it was a potion. It was a potion. Gives it, and Dasharatha has 3 wives. He's gonna have enough. And they all take it. And the sons Ram, Bharata, Lakshmana, and Shatrughna. Okay, 4 sons. So Dasharatha ends up with 4 sons. That's literally just the first part of the first story. Diwali is Monday. I'm gonna do my best, and you know we can just keep talking about this through the week of Diwali. Come back for part. I don't know, y'all. I mean, I really think this might be like 15, 20 parts. Bye.